Did
Right.
you have another question as well, Lucas?
Yeah. Do you have any memories of this school?
Oh, thousands. Absolutely thousands memories of this school. But do you know what the best memory is of this school?
What?
Is that I loved being here. Right from when I started when I was 4 and moved up this school like that. I don't know whether your top classes are still at the top. The oldest children?
No,
It goes that way.
Yeah.
Well, it used to go that way, so reception would be down this end, year 6 would be at the top, all the way through. I loved being here. And if anybody ever asked me, what did you want to do when you were at school? Do you know what you want to do when you after you leave school? No? Do you know what you want to do? No.
I'm gonna play a football there.
Fantastic. Anybody ever asked me, I wanted to be a teacher. That's all I ever wanted to be. I am now. So,
Your dreams come true.
absolutely, my dreams come true. And to come back here to sit and talk to you when I used to be one of you sitting there. Fantastic. So yes, I do have lots of memories, and I hope I'll share them a little bit this afternoon when we're having a little look around and we'll talk about it. No,
Oh,
didn't have that there either.
The bridge.
So I did notice what you have got, you know, the flower beds outside. They were all still there because we were allowed to go out there in the summer. So the flower beds, the big field was still there because we could crawl down the back.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I could do that. But we did the same
I'm
place.
going up once.
stop talking to the camera.
But all of your lovely outdoor things get changed in here with our costumes on. And in your cupboard, is there space in your cupboard?
I don't think so, but people sometimes get changed in
Yeah,
there.
so that's what we used to do. Only if you had something very fancy on, it wasn't
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
things, it was just, we used to do that. So,
For little treat.
Ellie, where's Ellie March? Do you want to read out your question?
Have you been in this school before?
since I left, no, this is the first time since I left. When I was year 6 and I left when I was 11, I've never been back and visited. So the only thing I've done a couple of weeks ago, I drove around the school just to make sure I knew where the car park was when I was coming to visit. And I was surprised because I wanted to drive all the way around the school because that's what I used to be able to do. And I couldn't because there's no road down here anymore. So I had to stop and then come back round and then go around that way. So it's the first time. And do you know one of the things that's really surprising? Well, it seems quite small. I thought it was big when I was here. But it seems much smaller now. Or maybe I've just grown, I'm not too sure.
I've got 22 yet.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we're talking 50s.
Yeah,
But I
I
think he was probably here for a good maybe 20 years after me.
Did you start in nursery or the infants?
Didn't have a nursery.
Well, you must be there.
I started at 4, but that
You
was
must be
up
the same
there.
age as me.
Well, I was
40
born
years.
in 1956.
So was that. I believe it or not. July 56.
December, you're a bit...
How old are you? I should have said that.
You can get him out if you want.
He's an African lizard.
See, really, you might have been
Yeah, the dragon.
He's a bearded dragon, isn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got long arms.
Can I get him?
He's an African.
Is he quite friendly?
Yeah.
He's very puffed his beard up when he's angry.
Oh, you're beautiful, aren't
How
you?
good? Yeah.
Look at him, isn't he beautiful?
He's close to scratcher when he's on my head.
Fantastic.
But let him on the floor.
Now I can just imagine what my husband would say if I took him home. What's he called?
Teddy.
Hetty. Gosh, he's fantastic.
Me and Olivia held him.
Who feeds him? Year 6s. We'll wait till you're year 6s because I think I would have to. He's alright. He's alright. He's quite squiggly. How about having a half a hold?
Put him on the floor.
Had a walk right round up into the car park. Had some very nice people showed me around. And then I went into the other class, and then we had another walk around inside the school. And there's some things that just look exactly the same, and there's some things I don't recognise at all. So there's a good combination. And I've had a look at some of the old photographs that Mr. Myers had out in the book, and I've been in the hall, and I've remembered so many things that I thought I'd forgotten. So I've had fantastic.
Oh, well, we've really enjoyed having you here, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And did you say you had a few things that
I did.
you wanted to
I've
show?
got- Yeah, I've brought a few things that I still seem to have even after all that time. And you've still got you wear a different badge now. But this, you all get school reports at the end of the year. Yes, you do. I know for sure that you do. A report to take home to tell your mums and dads and people at home how well that you've been doing in school. Well, you get big ones. This is what I got. And this is what I got for the whole time I was in the juniors in Key Stage 2. So right from when I was year 3, this was the report. This was handwritten because we didn't have computers. This is mine. That's what the teacher wrote it. But actually it does say here, handwriting, good. So that was for me. So these are all the comments about me. And this was when I was in year 3. And to make sure that I took it home and I didn't hide it or lose it, I had to get my mum to sign it on the bottom. And then I had to bring it back to school and I had to show my teacher. And then the teachers would take them away, and I didn't see them again until I was in year 4. And there was what I was like in year 4. Signature on the bottom from my mum. And then year 5. That was what I said about year 5. And year 6 was a bit different because years 3 and 4 and 5 we got tests, and you were told how many you got out of those tests. So the worst one was for a mental test. I got 13 out of 20, and it says careless mistakes.
That mental math.
It was mental maths.
I
mental
do
maths.
that, don't we?
But I must have got better because by the time I left as a year 6, we got letters to say how good we were. And those letters say A minus, some of them. But if you can't see at the back, I've done a photocopy which I thought you could
Oh,
have
that's really lovely, yeah.
So, and I was just thinking, I know from being a teacher how dreadful reports are to write because they take so long and you've got to write so much. I told my head teacher I want to go back to doing this. I think that would be much quicker. Just writing one word, whether you're good or excellent or not very good, make things much easier. So that's my report that I had. But I've got some photographs as well. And I've been along to the hall, and somebody's been telling me about you do plays, and this is a photograph of your hall with a play on that they did at Christmas. And it's not me, I'm not on here. This little girl here sitting in the front, she's my eldest sister, and she came to this school. She could only start in year 3 because the school was brand new. So she started in year 3, and this is her last year here. And she did a play on the stage. And I did play on the stage too, but I've got no photographs of it. And one of the things I do remember then is that I was a princess and I had to have a beautiful dress. And the only dress I could find that fit me was a bridesmaid's dress at my sister's. So it was a bit big for me, but it was pink and it was satin. And I thought I looked beautiful. But I wished I had photographed, and I probably would look and think, you didn't look very beautiful. But I've also got, I've been having a look at some of your school photographs. And I do have, your school photographs look so lovely.
Is that you?
This is me when I first started when I was 5. So this is my school photograph. It's a photocopy of me when I was 5. Well, it's great because this one wasn't in colour. So this one wasn't. Well, maybe. But I do have. Oh yeah, this one. This was when I was a year 6. It's in colour now.
It looks like Scottish.
You look like older sister, mate. I'm pretty sure about that. But I've got two things extra to show you that you might be a bit surprised about, because it was a very, very long time ago, and this photograph has also shown my sister. But this is a photograph taken down at the Central Station in Newcastle, and she went with a group of children to meet this lady, and this lady was an American head teacher who came to visit the school in about 1958. When did it open? I would think it would be about 1958, when it was very unusual for any foreign teachers to visit, and your school was one of the first ones who had an American head teacher come to visit and stay, and she actually stayed for a few days. And my sister was the welcoming committee that went down. I've got one more thing to show. Because I saw somewhere that your school's really good at art. Did I say somewhere about that? That your school's good at art and you like doing art things?
Yeah.
Well, I did something when I was in your school, when I was in year 6, that I've never even done with my children in my class. And we had a student that came in, a teacher, learning how to be a teacher. And we made these.
What? That one?
And this is a clay pot that she took away. We made it out of, we made the clay, and she took it away and she fired it in a big oven so that the clay changed. And she brought it back to school, and I painted it. So I've got some cats on this side. I've got some holes on this side. Has anybody any idea how I might have made those holes? How do you think I might have made the holes? That's exactly what I did. Took the end of a pencil and put some holes in. And then on this side, because she was a really lovely student, and she said, can you make sure you try and do something different on each side? And these ones have got lines on. Any idea how I might have made those lines?
A pencil.
Wasn't a pencil, didn't make it, not with the straight lines. I didn't use a pencil. It was a pencil for these ones.
Was it a ruler?
It was. I used a ruler and I pushed it in to make those lines on. And after we painted it, she took it away again and she glazed it. And this glaze, the shiny bit, is what's protected it for all of those years. And I took this home, and you can just see on the bottom I've got my name scratched in, because the bottom's the colour that the clay was before it was painted. This name here says C. Lumley, because that was my name before I got married. And for a lot of years I lost it. I didn't know what had happened to it. And it was one day out in the garden in my dad's house up at Ellsworth Green. We were just tidying the garden up a little bit, and there it was in the garden. I don't know how long it had been in the garden, but it had been there a very long time. And I thought, oh, it'll be no good. And I just rinsed it under the tap, and it just looked like it did when I made it all those years ago. So I've kept it because it's one of my very special things and memories that I've got of this school. So that's what I made when I was young.
Oh, thank you. We've got 4 minutes to get changed around, so before we all head off, if you three could just move out the way, the class ambassadors can come in. Can you just give them a shout? Just move out the way. Right, we've put together a little booklet for you. There's a labour of love today and yesterday, but we might have made a few little mistakes along the way, so we apologise in advance. There might be some things upside down, there might be a name spelled wrong, we apologise. And we've got you some chocolates as well.
Wow! I wasn't expecting to have presents. It's enough of a present to come here.
Well, it's been lovely having you. It's been great for me and the children walking around and all the questions we had.
Fantastic.
So, can we give Mrs. Armston a huge firework?